So hi, so it's Ken again. So we're going to do some more Qigong today. So Qigong is breath work or energy work, Qi, intrinsic energy, life force, prana, it's spiritual, it's Qi, Gong work, as in Kung Fu, but it's not Kung Fu, it's Gong Fu. Okay, so today we're going to do one of the 5 animal frolics. We're going to do with the crane, the bird, the crane. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I know you don't want me to waffle too much because you know, if you've been watching my films, then you know I talk a lot as we go through it. So you're standing with your heels together. If the feet were on the face of a clock, left foot will be pointing to 10 o'clock, right foot to 2 o'clock, 10 to 2, 10 past 10. Okay, I just want you to tilt the pelvic area forwards, but feel like it's hanging down. Imagine you have a long ponytail on the top of the head that's tied up to the heavens. So have the feeling as if you are suspended from above. Your pelvic area tilted forwards feels like it's hanging down from that suspension from above. And really feel like you're sitting down onto a high stool. And I just want you to raise your toes off the floor. So you drop the weight back into the heels. And you might find that you structure buckles a little bit here. Okay, so sink your ribs to fill your lower back. The structure might buckle here, the ribs flare out and the lower back curve in, so sink the ribs to fill the lower back. Sit down. You want a nice flat back, but don't force it. If you do have some of that curvature, that lordosis in the lower back, don't force it. Over time and with practice, you'll be able to flatten the back more and more without creating tension in the body. So dropping the weight into the heels. You're really trying to engage your deep frontal line here, your core muscles. The deep frontal line runs up from the inside of the ankles, the back of the feet, up through the pelvic floor, up through the inside of the rib cage, and connects up into the neck and into the throat. So touch the tongue onto the roof of the mouth. You're breathing in through the nose. Imagine you're breathing into that point that's about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of your body. Imagine you have a ball there in the belly, about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of the body. Imagine you're breathing into that ball. As you breathe into it, feel it expand and contract with the in and out breath. Okay, then you can, if you've not already, you can lower the toes down onto the floor, engaging the core. Okay, so standing upright or head as if suspended above, sitting down into the posture, so bending your knees, bring your arms up so the fingers are pointing in towards each other, palms facing up towards your chest. So the bird, the crane, breathing in. Raise the hands up, breathing out, drop them back down, breathing in, up, breathing out, down. So the crane, to the Chinese, a symbol of longevity. The crane can stand on one of its pencil-thin legs for hours. It looks like it's asleep, it could be asleep. These birds, a lot of birds can have one half of the brain asleep while the other is awake. So the crane can stand motionless on one of its pencil-thin legs for hours. Looks like it's asleep, but if some potential food swims past, it will dart into action with lightning reflexes. This is the kind of relaxation we want here. Relaxed, but not the relaxation of cooked noodles or cooked spaghetti. Relaxed with awareness, what we call sung in traditional Chinese medicine and in Tai Chi. Breathing in. So you're looking into the distance. That is, you're not being distracted by anything you see around you. You're not trying to block it out. You're still aware of everything. You're just not thinking about anything you have around you. Feel like you're looking into the distance, as if you're looking through a light mist or fog and watching birds flying near distant clouds against the backdrop of a beautiful turquoisey blue summer sky. Breathing in. And breathing in. And I've got a slight up and downward movement of the whole body here. So I'm sinking down to the heels and breathing in. Feel like I'm rolling from the heels towards the toes, and I'm activating a pump along the soles of the feet. A pump of the connective tissue that runs along the soles of the feet, the myofascia, the plantar fascia. Breathing in. Breathing in. Breathing out. And I don't tend to count the repetitions I do of each move when I do Qigong. I just do them until they feel right. If you do like to count, multiples of 3 are good. So 3, 6, 9, 36. 108. Breathing in, depending on how much time you have. Breathing in. Breathing in. Breathing in. And then take your arms out to the sides of the body. Hands up about the same height as your shoulders. Then breathing in. Raise the hands up and touch all the fingers to the thumbs. And breathing out, back down to shoulder height. Breathing in, again, slight up and downward movement of the body here. So we're making what's called the single whip hand here. Touching the fingers to the thumbs, or the beak of the crane. Breathing in. So breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in, looking into the distance. So this will make your shoulders ache. And if you are holding excessive, unnecessary amounts of tension in your shoulders, they will really, really ache. So by going through this sort of training, these sort of practices, you'll learn how to let go of unnecessary effort. But you might have to go through a bit of an ache first to realize what you don't need. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, up. And head as if suspend from above. Tongue on the roof of the mouth. Feel like you're touching your neck against the collar of the shirt. Sink the chest to round the upper back, sink the ribs to fill the lower back. Really feel that space between the bottom of the rib cage and the hips. Really feel that lengthening. Pelvic area is tilted forwards, where it feels like it's hanging down. Really trying to take that curvature out of the lower back. Relaxing the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing into the lower abdomen, which you can't physically do, but imagine you are breathing into that ball in the belly, so you're really engaging your diaphragm and your pelvic floor to help with your breath. Down and breathing in. Breathing in, so sinking down and breathing in, up like a bird flapping its wings, like a crane taking off. Breathing in and breathing out. In, get out further than that. And breathing in. Breathing in. In the past, when I've practiced this for many years. In the past, I've done this crossing the hands in front of the groin. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just at the present time in my practice, I'm not doing that. Crane taking off. Really feel the resistance of the air like a bird does with its wings. You can imagine you're catching a thermal, a pocket of warm air, and you're riding that warm air. Breathing in and breathing out, sinking down to the heels and breathing in and rolling from the heels towards the toes. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Really feel like you're rolling from the heels towards the toes. Really activating that pump of the connective tissue and sending that pump up through the body and out to the fingertips. Feel the air between your fingers. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And you don't have to do it at the same speed I'm doing it here. You can do it slower. You could do it faster if you want. Yeah, you could do it if you wanted to. Pretty much, I believe the rule of thumb when it comes to Qigong, the quicker you do it, the more invigorating it is. The slower you do it, the more of a meditative effect you get. Qigong tends to be done slowly. Well, not exclusively, but it's some fast Qigong to it. Or some faster Qigong. So bird-like crane movements tend to be really good for the heart, really good for the lungs. Okay, this time, as your arms go up, you're going to sink down, raise the heels and get out. Breathing out, come back up. Make sure the lower back doesn't curve in, the ribs don't flare out. You're rolling from the heels towards the toes and back. Breathing in. And don't go down too far here. Don't go down too far. I mean, I can go all the way down here, but I have to lunge, use a lot of effort to bring myself up. And what we're really trying to feel here is the elasticity of the connective tissue rather than just using gross muscular effort. Breathing in, sinking down. Make sure the bum doesn't stick out, the lower back doesn't curve in. Sinking down, whole body connection, but you're not leaning forwards here. Dropping straight down. Breathing in. Breathing out, rolling down the middle of the feet. Make sure, again, that the structure is not buckling here so the ribs aren't flaring out. The lower back isn't curving in, the head's not lolling forwards. Breathing in. So I can feel my heart rate getting up now because I'm going down into these squats. Breathing out, make sure the knees stay in line with your toes. Feet together, sinking down into the heels. Make sure the ribs don't buckle out, the lower back and curve. And you can incline ever so slightly forward from the hips here. And hug your knees, cross hands. Breathing in and raise your left leg. Try and get your thigh so it's parallel to the floor, but raise it as high as is comfortable for you. Sink it down to the heels. Make sure the structure doesn't buckle. Hug the knees. Breathing in and coming up. Raise your right leg this time. Breathing out, dropping down. Bring it down. Still engage in your core. Really feel like you're moving from that ball in the belly. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Keep the knees in line with the toes. Breathing out. Breathing in. looking into the distance. So kind of try and feel the balance of the body rather than kind of looking around at your surroundings and know how you're balanced in relation to that. So really working on our proprioception, that feeling of the balance of the body, rather than making those visual markers for your surroundings. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Okay, touch the backs of the hands together. And breathing in. Step forwards with your left foot and bring your arms behind you, or to your sides and behind you. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. So just calming the chi now. Just touching the toes down in front of you for balance. You're not committing any weight to that front foot. Breathing in, you're not sticking your chest out. You're not flaring your ribs out or curving in the lower back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just calming down. Breathing in. Breathing out. In. Sitting down onto that supporting leg. Like sitting down onto a high stool. Breathing in. Okay, rub your hands. Rub your hands. It'll be nice and warm. And just rub the lower back. Rub the kidney area in the lower back. Rub the belly. One way. The other way. All the way around. Up and down. So this is really good for digestion, and if you believe in it, we're working with that energy center, that ball in the belly, the dancing, really working with the chi. Rub down the legs, the hips, the buttocks, thighs, knees, shins and calves. You can give your shoulders a bit of a rub. Might be aching a little bit after doing the arm movements. And that really makes you feel really light and airy, that movement does, or that sequence does. Okay, so before I really start to waffle, so we will finish there. So drink water, enjoy whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, and I will see you in the next film.